had very active weather overnight, and parts of northern Colorado, some folks there woken up to very large hail. We're talking baseball-size hail reports for places like Milliken, 2.5 inches in Wellington, even toward Fort Morgan, 1.25 inches. Lafayette saw 3/4 of an inch size hail. So very impressive hail reports coming in from the overnight hours. These are from about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. As we take a look at what that looks like as far as kind of prospectively speaking for your hailstone, it has to be severe, or in order to be severe, it has to be 1 inch or larger, so 1/4 size or larger. But the hail that did some damage in some Milliken neighborhoods was as large as baseball size hail. So definitely some very impressive reports, and we're looking at more potential going into the afternoon. Today is a first alert weather day, as we are expecting more storms, could see more 2-inch hail. We could also see winds 60+ miles per hour. As far as those gusts are concerned, even the potential threat for some tornadoes out into eastern Colorado. We have level 1 to 3 risks from the Storm Prediction Center across the state, and the timing for that second wave about noon, starting to see those storm chances fire up for us. There is a lull. This morning into the afternoon is when that lull is, kind of around 7, 8 o'clock, taking us into about the noon time frame before we start to see more of those storms develop again. Here's that risk for us across the state. Level 1, 2, and 3 threats just off towards our east. That risk grows to a moderate level 4 threat for severe weather. So definitely expecting the stronger storms later on today. You get the hatch marks for the hail. That is going to be an increased threat for that hail that could meet that severe threshold. So it looks likely that some parts of the Denver area, if these storms meet that severe threshold, could produce hail that's 1 inch or larger. So if you can, try to keep your car in the garage today. Try to keep the car covered, because we'll see that potential threat for hail, but also wind going into the afternoon. So kind of batten down the hatches and protect anything that could blow away if those winds could gust up to 60 miles per hour. Storms picking up around noon. We'll continue to see that severe threat between 2, 3 o'clock, continuing to see the threat for some strong to severe weather. For the Denver area, it does look like that threat diminishes around 6 o'clock tonight. Could still see some lingering showers, maybe a stray storm, but most of that activity is going to build off towards the east as those storms intensify heading into parts of eastern Colorado. So definitely keeping our eye on that today. One thing we will notice along with the storm potential is going to be the temperature. We're cooling about 20 degrees today as compared to yesterday. High at the airport, only 74. Still hanging on to some heat, some 90s, Grand Junction over toward Cortez possible today. We are still looking at some high fire danger out into parts of western Colorado. Red flag warnings in place through 9 o'clock tonight. For the Denver area tonight, gradual clearing of the storms, temperatures getting into the low 50s, and by tomorrow, just gorgeous. Right where we should be for this time of year, mid-80s, a very calm and quiet afternoon across the state, feeling a little bit better. Still seeing some 70s, maybe even a few low 80s up in the high country, with more 90s possible out west. But for the Denver area, again, it's just right where we should be for this time of year. Enjoy it, because it won't be here for long. By Thursday, we're back in the mid-90s, knocking on the door of some records by Thursday. Looking to tie, if not break, records going Friday and into Saturday. We could see 100 degrees on Friday. There is a chance we could even see 100 degrees again going into Saturday. So could be very hot as we head into the weekend, likely to be very hot as we head into the weekend. That summer solstice officially takes place on Friday. We stay in the 90s through Sunday before those temperatures start to cool back down into the 80s heading into early next week.